Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody here. I today have the first layout of my December project, and what I've done for my December project, I am actually doing this as a Christmas gift for one of my sisters, and I will also be doing it for the other sister as well. But we draw names at Christmas, and I got my older sister's name, and so I decided to, I'm getting her another gift, but I also decided to go ahead and make some scrapbook pages for her. She used to be an avid scrapbooker before she had children, and then now that she's had children, and then her job just got busier, she just hasn't had a lot of time to do much scrapbooking. So I was thinking, I don't know that she has any layouts of her son now that he's been born, and he's actually 3.5, I think now. So I was thinking, it would be great for me to be able to make her some layouts so she could have at least some in an album for him. So I've taken probably about enough photos for about, I don't know, 15 pages or so, somewhere between about 12 and 15 pages. And some of the layouts will have 2 photos, some of them will have 1, and they're just from his first 3 years. I definitely have pulled out some from whenever he was a baby, because I think those are important to have the baby photos as well. But I just pulled out a bunch of different photos from my iPhoto on my computer. And then this is my first one. And this photo actually is of a time when we were down there with my dad right before he passed away. So the layout is going to be titled Smile Always, and it kind of goes along with this journaling card, this dark blue and teal and white journaling card down to the left that says live simply, be grateful, give love, laugh lots, and then it's going to say Smile Always is my title. Now, I really love the journaling cards that I have pulled out. These are some Project Life cards from Becky Higgins. I believe it's the Honey edition. I'm pretty sure it's the Honey edition. And I really like the teals. So it's kind of going for a teal, a gray, and a navy blue look. The navy blue is in some of the journaling cards. The teal obviously is in the papers, and then in the background, and then also kind of a gray. And I'm going to use a few pops of gold with these rub-ons that you see under my alphas. And these alphas are the ones that I'm using. These are just the Scrabble letter ones. I don't know what the name of the alphas are, but they're the ones that look like Scrabble letters, and I have them in gray as well as in pink. And I have used them a ton, and I still have a ton of them left. So they're very versatile. You get a lot of alphas, a lot of different letters in these. So now they fall apart really bad, like they fall off the background really bad. So I had went through with some adhesive, kind of stuck them back on there, but since then they've already fallen off. So, they didn't work out very well, I don't think. Just trimming up some of my scraps here. I'm using a lot of scraps on this layout. I was going to leave that white border strip on there since I am using white as one of my accent colors, but I end up not. I take it off and I just trim down that piece of paper, and I wanted to make sure it was even at the bottom and the top, so that's why I kind of folded that over. All right, I'm just kind of matting both the photo and the title card here. I almost have some crazy here because I just saw it come into frame and it's sticking up all over the place. I also have a small round sticker right there to the corner of the title, but I'm going to take that off. That's not going to stay there, but it was just a date label. On some of these layouts, I am going to be sticking a journaling pocket on the back so that my sister can add her own journaling. I didn't want to do journaling on the front because I wasn't sure if it's something that she would want to add. So I didn't put it on the front just in case she doesn't want to journal anything at all. It's not going to be anything, just to have a blank card on the back of the layout. Now I took that date label sticker and I cut off the part that I had written, and then I'm going to use these basic gray alphas, and I've put it on top of kind of a silver washi tape, I think it's supposed to be silver, but it's really kind of a shiny gray, but I really like it. And I was going to put 2014 with the black alphas, but they stand out really they stand out a lot, and I was going for more of a subtle look. And this is just March 2014, so I wrote out March with the basic gray alphas, and then now I'm looking for an alpha to do the 2014, and I'm going to end up sticking with these silver foil alphas from Recollections, and I'm just going to do a 1 and a 4, and then use an apostrophe. A lot of these layouts that I'm making for my sister are pretty simple. I'm not exactly sure what her style is because I've never scrapbooked with her before. We've done a lot of scrapbook shopping together, but never actually have scrapbooked together. She was more of a card maker than she was a scrapbooker, so I don't really know what her style is as far as scrapbooking. So I've kind of gone with my style, but a little bit more simplified, though simplified is my style a lot of the times as well. I don't like to overcomplicate things sometimes. So I kind of went with just simple. It's very different scrapbooking for somebody else. Excuse me. I was not anticipating the challenges that I am facing. So one of the challenges is, what should the title be? And a lot of these photos, I don't really know what the backstory is. This one I do because I took the photo and I was there when it, at the time. So I know exactly what the backstory is. But a lot of these photos that I want to scrapbook, I don't know what the backstory is. So it's very difficult to come up with a title for a layout that you don't know what's going on in. And then second of all, of course, is the journaling. Do you put journaling on there? Do you not? Do you leave a space for it? What do you do? So I've already told you what my solution to that was. But, and then like I said, you don't want to do too much embellishment, especially if you don't know the backstory. Sometimes your embellishments coincide with the story. So if you don't know the story, it's hard to sometimes figure out which embellishments to use. So anyways, no big deal. It just was a little bit, it made me think a little bit at first when I first started these. And so I ended up having to just kind of think past it and just think, okay, well, if this is in my album, how would I make it? And that's kind of how I've approached it. So I kind of changed the way I had those 3x4 cards lined up at the bottom of my layout. I had the teal and navy card kind of closer to the photo at first, and now I've kind of switched it around to where the teal stripe card is a little bit more of a shadow in a sense on top or right behind the card with the writing on it. I'm going through the different embellishments that I have here in my kit that I pulled out for this December project. I have a ton of stuff in this kit, and I'm just kind of approaching it kind of like how I do my monthly kits. I have all the products at the ready, and I'm just kind of using them, whatever I feel looks nice, I'm using it. And one of the things are these rub-ons, these gold rub-ons. So I trimmed apart the one that said love, love, and then it had a heart kind of at the end and had XO on it. So that heart with the XO is going to go right there at the top, right under the photo. And then the love, love will go down at the bottom right under the title. And I was having a bit of difficulty with these rub-ons. They're getting to be a little bit older, so they're not rubbing on quite as easily as they originally would have, but which is just another reason why I want to go ahead and use them up out of my stash. Sorry, my head is totally in the way, but I was wanting to make sure that the rub-ons rubbed on well, and I'm just kind of rubbing it on as I'm pulling it off. You can see my crazy hair right there. And then I have a gold heart here that I'm putting on this bottom embellishment section. And then I have the gold chevron or gold arrows, I guess you could say, up here. They're going to go right below the corner of the photo. So I have the gold in actually 4 spots, but really the ones right around the title are kind of in the same cluster. All right. I don't even have this glued down but this is where I'm going to glue this down. And if you noticed when I glued the 3x4 cards down, I went ahead and just trimmed off the part that was going to be layered behind that you wouldn't see. That way I could keep them and continue to use them. Now I'm using some Tombow Mono glue here to adhere these alphas down. They will stick, but I don't know how long they're going to stick, so I decided to go ahead and just add my own liquid glue on the back of them. And I ended up moving up the title a bit from what I originally had it. And now I always try to start in the middle because it's just the easiest way to get it lined up. And then I add the other letters around it. Now this glue is a wet glue, and it is very easy to work with. You can kind of manipulate it even after you stick those letters down if you like. They worked out well. I didn't have to move them around, but if you had I suppose, had I put it in the wrong spot, I would have been able to move it around. And Kalen's sticking his little hand in here saying hi, making sure he's known. He's telling you about his cousin Walter here. He's pointing to him. And I've got this on like ×4, so you can see he's having a good time telling you all about his cousin here. I've put out these Bella Boulevard cameras, and I actually cut these from a Bella Boulevard piece of paper, so I've used them for many layouts over the years, and I'm actually almost out of them. I probably had a good 30 or so of them, and I've almost used all of them, but they're a great size for a small embellishment, and I really love gray on my layouts, so I have used them a lot. And then I'm just adding a couple little hearts that I've punched with my little heart punch that you can see there sitting off to the edge. I believe it's a Recollections one. I've just punched it out of some teal paper, and then I've also have a navy blue right here that I'm just very strategically punching that heart off the back of that card. And that card is the one that I cut the piece off that was going to be layered behind. Now, I am also going to pull out a few more small things to add, but just trimming off my excess pieces here. I'm layering another little camera right there under there. And I'm looking at it, and now I'm almost done with this layout. Almost done, and I'm just adding another little heart here. I wanted that navy in a few more places, but I wasn't exactly sure where, so I just ended up punching another little heart, and I'm going to layer it right over here. And I end up not even doing the navy. I end up going back to the teal, but I am going to add two more small little things here. Now I am looking through my Ellie Studio label section, and I'm just looking and I'm trying to figure out something, and I end up finding this one that says that this was good, and I believe it was actually from the Let's Eat collection. And it was on a little journaling tag, but I punch it out with my circle punch, and it just says this was good. And then I have another one that says Shine, and it was actually the top of a label sheet of their Shine collection. But hey, Shine is a sentiment that's very usable. And this is going to complete the front of my layout, I believe. But I am going to add the journaling up here at the top, or the journaling card up here to the top in the back of my layout, so you'll be able to see that. I'm just going to punch a little notch out of the top of my page here, just so as you flip through her album, you'll be able to see that there is something there. Like I said, if she chooses not to do the journaling, it's no big deal at all. But I am going to add this notch here though, so that if she does do journaling, it'll be easy to see what is there. And I made my pocket a little bit too tight, so I'm having to kind of rework this. Oh, and at the very beginning, if you watched the very beginning, you would have seen I'm using a Recollections paper. That's this, the background paper here, but it's a very thin piece of paper, very thin pattern paper. It's a single-sided, very thin piece of pattern paper. So I have backed it just on a piece of other cardstock just to make sure it's a little bit more stable. All right, and I'm doing that journaling pocket again. I already put the glue down, but now I'm just backing it with another piece of cardstock. I don't know why I was having such a difficult time with this, but anyways, I'm going to get it done here. And then I'm also going to have some still shots here at the end, so you'll be able to see. Also, at the end of the week, I do a weekly recap on my blog, so you'll be able to see the still photos a little bit closer if you'd like to. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe to see more. Thanks, guys. Bye.